Hello everybody, it's me, GhostCritic. It's Thursday, it's a comic book review show, and it's the first week of October, so we can say goodbye to all those zero issues. We were quite divided in our opinions of those, weren't we? I was thinking about it today while I was doing notes for this week's review show, and it occurred to me that these would have worked a lot better if these had been our annuals, because we're getting all the annuals and we've had a few annuals already coming out here, there and everywhere. But to have fleshed those supposedly origin stories out, it would have worked perfectly in your annuals. So I'd say a missed opportunity, but I think we all know deep down the zero issues were ka-ching, ka-ching for DC. Come on now. But for me personally, easily pleased mostly, so I enjoyed them. But, as you we're back with issue 13s of all the DC. We're back to normal now. And this week we're starting with probably the stinker of the pile. We've got Batman Detective issue 13. And it's only really a stinker because it's such an uninspiring, unimaginative story. And it's by John Layman as well, and that surprised me. We've got Penguin back, and it's just below average, kind of dull Penguin story. It's that whole story, you know, I want to be remembered for something good, I want to be loved, blah, 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 blah. And so he's cooked up a plan. Bruce Wayne is attending like a dedication ceremony where he will open a wing of a child ward, and it's named after his mother, Martha Wayne. And of course, Penguin, Cobblepot, is very happy about this and would prefer it otherwise. So he cooks up this plan, and on the one hand he employs a kind of like an assassin's guild, whatever, these red masked evildoers to take out basically Bruce Wayne so he doesn't get to this dedication ceremony in time, and Penguin can, well, push some more money in the hospital's direction and make sure it's named after his mother instead. At the same time, he's got all these kind of robberies and muggings and all sorts of things going along around Gotham to stop Batman from getting to this kind of dedication ceremony to save Bruce Wayne. Oh, the irony. I can see people saying this is a fault of the New 52, and it seriously is not. It's got nothing to do with the fact this is a New 52. It's just poor storytelling. It's like, it could have been a story like 10, 20 years ago. There's nothing inspiring about it. There's no particular detective work going on there. Stinker. Only just a little bit better is Green Lantern issue 13, and we're basically catching up with our new Green Lantern, Simon Baz, or Baz Simon, whatever his name is, and he's on the run. And you've got the implications of this on his family, his sister, his mother and father. You get, what else do we get in here? Oh, the government, you know, they've been keeping tabs on all these Green Lanterns. So, I mean, in a way, it is a good kind of, if you've not read Green Lantern and the kind of satellite titles to it, like Green Lantern Corps and the New Guardians, you do get like a little brief kind of dossier, so to speak, on the Green Lantern. So you've got a little bit about Hal, you've got a bit about Guy Gardner, and you learn, you know, he left the police force like disgraced. They don't know who Kyle is, and John is the only one that they think they can trust. So you kind of have that on it, and they want to get Simon Baz back, and so they enlist. Who do they enlist? It's the Justice League, and they end up turning up on the last page to say hello to our new GL. There wasn't really a lot going on. It's treading that thin line between being kind of over preachy in the whole Baz's sister kind of basically loses her job at the bank because of her affiliation with her brother, who is supposedly a terrorist now. And it just feels a little bit preachy, kind of real world politicising, which I'm not really that keen on. There was an interesting bit with the whole Ring and Hal and Sinestro, their garbled messages to Simon, but I was looking forward to finding out what else was going on there. Last we saw Sinestro and Hal, they were in this really black room, planet. Who knows where they are? It's just all black. Not really that particularly interesting. Moving up the ranks, and it's about time, isn't it? It's The Amazing Spider-Man. Issue 695, start of a new story arc. We have Cam Coley back on artwork. Yes, it is Cam Coley. I had to think for a second then. We've got, like it says on the front, it's Hobgoblin versus The Amazing Spider-Man. It's the new Hobgoblin, and we have the old Hobgoblin back. This is quite a fun issue. The whole deal around the tech that Kingpin has got one of the Horizon guys to make this Spidey sense dampener, and it's kind of well, what it's basically done, it's kind of gone the other way round. It hasn't dampened his spider sense, it's heightened it to such a degree that everything around Peter is a danger and sets off his spidey sense. And this leads to some very kind of humorous scenarios that Slott and Cam and Coley throw in there, to the point where you have a desk at the Daily Bugle, and there's kind of, I love this device in here where everything that was a danger was tagged. So you had like paper cut, staple gun, and man had burrito for lunch. It was to that higher, you know, his spider sense is that heightened. And I thought it was quite funny and quite clever, kind of kooky idea, and definitely lifted this big book up a bit. The connections between Peter being Spidey are getting ever so close, and is it being too flag posted? Is this going to be the big 700 issue? Is he going to be unveiled yet again? Is Doctor Strange's kind of spell that he put on the world to forget that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, is that all going to crumble down? My favourite part of this, I have to say, can you hear me? Amazing Spider-Man, it's actually really good this week. But my favourite part, and we need to show you this. If you haven't read it, look away very soon. It's this double page spread. Can we all see that? With Madam Web right in the middle, and her just screaming out, the future, every point in the future. And you have all these panels within the spider's web, and look very closely, because there are a lot of Marvel characters in here, and clearly for it all these to be shown, whatever's coming in 700 is surely going to affect the whole Marvel universe. So, scary. Really enjoyed it. It makes a change, believe me. Only one independent title this week. Well, I'll say independent. It's Image, and it was Fatale, and it was issue 8. It's going backwards and forwards and forwards and backwards and in the present and kind of future. I like this book, I do, but, you know, sit down and concentrate. Nick is, I think his name's Nick. Nick is kind of on the run from, in our present day, he's trying to hide from everybody, the guys with the glasses and the bowler hats. And he reminisces about meeting Josephine for the first time when he was a child. And his father's connections to Josephine. And then we jump back to our kind of in the 70s storyline with Josephine. Yes, she's using her womanly wiles again and has bedded our movie star, who's really there just to kind of help this Susie character who just messes it all up by the end of the issue anyway. But Sean Phillips' artwork in here, there are some very scary moments, especially with this guy, or Hansel, who we now know is he is the resurrected reincarnation of one of Josephine's older enemies, which was Bishop, which we saw in the last story arc from the 40s, 50s. Very complicated. I love it still. Brubaker, you kind of want stuff to move a bit more quickly, but Brubaker has condensed this so much, and it's a tight story, and I'm enjoying it. I don't know where it's going. It doesn't look good for Josephine, it doesn't look good for Susie, but still, great title. So we're going on to our ever so closer to our pick of the weeks. Narrowly missing out. It was Uncanny X-Force, and it was issue 32. And we have another traitor in our team of X-Force. And it's not exactly who you think it might be, or is it? At the end of last issue, we had Deadpool, Wade Wilson, about to strike Evan down, dead, assassinating, kill him, make sure he doesn't become Apocalypse. Is he the traitor? I have to read it to find out. But this is such... the manipulations of all our Brotherhood of Evil mutants, I mean, they are evil. They are sadistic little... I won't say it, I'm a good boy. But my God, they are evil. It brings a whole new meaning to the word evil. We've got Wolverine, we've got Psylocke there infiltrating the evil Brotherhood of Mutants base, trying to stop Wade from killing Evan. Wolverine is just out for blood. And he just goes berserker and he starts slicing and dicing. It's difficult to talk about this without spoiling it. Nightcrawler has a little, obviously, Nightcrawler, not Clara. Nightcrawler. Let me compose myself a minute. He has a chat with his mum, but of course Nightcrawler is our Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler, not our 616. So the interesting dynamics between the two, where in AOA, Nightcrawler and Mystique, they were the kind of good guys, the freedom fighters. And obviously Mystique of our universe is an evil little bitch. So it was interesting seeing their kind of relationship coming from different universes. What else happened? Well, without spoiling it too much, everything is coming to a head. It's You just wonder who's going to be left of this team by the end of it. And this title is coming to the end. I believe it finishes with 35, maybe 34. There aren't many issues to go, which is a shame because this has been a fantastic a run by Remender, just as the Punisher was when it ended last week. It'll be a shame to see it go. Now I have a pick of the week. It was very difficult to choose pick of the week, and I'm sure you all know if you've been following me for any length of time, and I know a lot of you have, you know what's coming up next, and it is very difficult. I'm torn. So they both get it, and to be fair, they both tread very similar grounds. We've got Swamp Thing issue 13 and Animal Man 13, and to be fair, they're really both the same story, just dealing with the two separate characters, because we have them escaping from, or whether they escaped or whether they've been let free of the rot world. But it's a year later, and the earth, the world is in ruins. The rot have taken over, and we only have like our few kind of freedom fighters left. And so it is, I mean, you can put this storyline into both. So this is why they're both picks of the week, because they are still damn good stories. I mean, Lemire and Snyder are just writing the crap out of these. They really are. They're fantastic. But they're basically the same story. So yes, come out of Rot World, instantly attacked by the Rot, and each of them gets their own kind of little team. So Swamp Thing, who comes to rescue him or aid him, it's Poison Ivy and Deadman. In Animal Man, who comes to his rescue, it's Black Orchid, Steel and Beast Boy. And they take our characters, each to their respective kind of greens and reds. The Parliament of Trees has now been kind of hoisted above the Louisiana swamps and is kind of like at the top of a beanstalk now. And this is where the green is basically making its last stand. Over in Animal Man, Orchid, Steel and Beast Boy take them to this kind of enclosure of the red. And the clever thing about this one, I like this, the avatars of the red sacrifice themselves to make this kind of enclosure. So they are actually living inside the avatars now. So I thought that was a nice idea. Then it's the Rot and the green. It's the Rot against the red. It's a big, crazy, horrific, horrifying, scary mess. We have Poison Ivy and Deadman and Swamp Thing with a kind of legion of swamp light characters battling back the Rot. In Animal Man, which I actually prefer, if you had to make me choose, I would pick this as my pick of the week rather than something, and only because of the fight scene here. We get more about our superheroes have been taken over by the Rot, even like the Justice League, everyone, as far as we know, apart from our characters here who've kind of teamed up, have been taken over by the Rot. So we have the Teen Titans, Rot versions, trying to pound on Animal Man. And then finally, there is, and I won't spoil this so much, I'll try and not anyway, both of them dealing with losses in their life. People close to them have gone. And it does just make you wonder where this is all going. we have been told this is real time. This isn't a case of Alec Holland Swamp Thing, Buddy Baker Animal Man being thrown into the future. We already know from the last issues that the time in Rot World is different, and it goes a lot quicker. Yes. So where this is going to go, how we're going to get back to the present time rather than a year in the future, I'm excited to know how this is going to work out, and I know I'm not going to be let down with Snyder. I know I'm not going to be let down with Jeff Lemire. Two great titles. Best, I would say, DC are putting out at the moment. Go get the graphic novels, the first 6 issues, or just hunt these down because you should be reading these. And that is it for this week. It just leaves me to do the digital code raffle. And it does make me wonder how many people watched the end of my video last week. Because, I mean, as long as people put their name in, I'll put as many as I get. Digital for the win! But got about a dozen entries this month, rather than about, I must have got over 30. So just wonder how many of you are watching to the end of the video. See what you miss out on. Well, anyway, I have my bag with the kind of dozen or so names in here. Give it a good shake. And I'll put my hand in here, and they're going to get all the Marvel digital codes for the comics from last month. And we have, oh, I knew it. As soon as I saw this now, I thought, this person's going to win, and I'm never going to be able to say it. Zizi Baluba. You have won. So I'll be sending you a personal message with all those codes. I hope you enjoy them. So learn from this. Watch to the end of my videos. You don't know what you're going to miss out on. And that's it. So it's that time. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm sorry. You're new. Subscribe up there somewhere. Give it a big thumbs up. And put a big, nice comment down below. Tell me what you've been reading this week. Any thoughts about the 0 issues? Because, well, we'll see. Take care. Bye.